she did it again. Nancy Pelosi once again fails on a promise. Normally, she doesn't even promise good things. In this case, she had a very clear promise. She said we're going to pass a $15 minimum wage within the first 100, not days, the first 100 hours if Democrats regain the House. We're a little past 100 hours here. We're many, many, many months into the Democrats gaining control of the House, and easily, and yet we don't have a $15 minimum wage. Oh, well, look at that. Now, don't get me wrong. If they'd passed it in the House and the Senate blocked it because the Republicans, fine. At least we got the Republicans on the record against lower wages. I don't want that. I want them to pass it overall so you guys actually get those wages. But that's not Nancy Pelosi's job. Her job is to get it through the House. And that's super easy because they have a giant lead in the House. Still haven't gotten it. So, and when I say Nancy Pelosi, by the way, it's all the Democratic leadership. It usually applies to the Senate as well. But here it's specifically about the House because that's where they have the huge lead. The Republicans have the Senate. So it applies to Steny Hoyer and all of them as well. So Steny Hoyer is asked about it. And he said, well, we're going to need a little bit more time on this. Well, what's the holdup? It turns out conservative Democrats don't want the $15 minimum wage. So a couple of notes on that. Number one, this is Nancy Pelosi 101 playing to the most conservative denominator. So if the most conservative Democrat in the House doesn't want it, she doesn't do it. Because we all have to vote together. No, why do we have to vote together? Who cares? And by the way, they're not conservative Democrats, they're corporate Democrats. So if a corporate Democrat doesn't want $15 minimum wage because he's contributed to by the donors, okay, that's his problem, not my problem. Let him vote no. I don't care about his vote. We're going to pass anyway in the House, and we're going to pass easily. So, but that might hurt him with the voters. Oh, I got an idea, Nancy. And the guy who's corrupt, maybe you vote with the voters. Oh, they never thought of that. They never thought of that. But my contributors, but the independent expenditures, that's not fair. No. You're making that decision. If you think it's going to help you with your voters in Alabama, then vote no. I'm not stopping you, brother. We don't need your vote. Then vote no on $15 minimum wage. Vote no on higher wages. I think that's an incredibly stupid thing to do, but go ahead and do it. Oh, it turns out you also think it's a stupid thing to do. So that's why they don't want to take the vote. So they say to Nancy Pelosi, hey, don't embarrass me because people will find out that I'm a sellout and I work for my donors and corporations and not for my voters. So don't even allow a vote. And Nancy Pelosi goes, yes, sir, absolutely, sir. If your corporate donors don't want it, well, then you'll have lower wages all across the country, not just in Alabama, but all across the country because of your goddamn corporate donors, okay? So that's exactly what's happening. And we still don't have a $15 minimum wage in the House. I mean, how simple is that? And, you know, I wrote an editorial, it's in the Hill, about how Nancy Pelosi is not a progressive. And in it, I had as one of the last lines, look, $15 minimum wage is a layup. And she probably won't even do that. And I took it out. I have to be honest. I took it out because I thought, nah, that's outrageous. It's so easy. She's got to be able to do that at least. And it turns out, nope, still hasn't done it. Why? Because some corporate donor of some Alabama douchebag who's pretending to be a Democrat says no to the minimum wage. So none of you anywhere in the country can get the $15 minimum wage on a federal level because some corporation blocked it by buying a congressman in Alabama. And not a Republican, but a Democrat. And they tell me we're on the same team. Hey, Cenk, take it easy. Why are you upset? You're all on the same team. You should support that Alabama Democrat. How are we on the same team? He just voted. Not only does he not vote no, he blocks the entire vote. And that's on Pelosi, Hoyer, and the rest of the Democratic leadership for always going with the most conservative, most corporate position. We don't need their votes. Take the vote already, God damn it. Take the vote already.